Well, thank you all for joining us today for our webinar here. It's going to roughly be around 30 minutes or so. And the webinar topic that I'm going to go over today is specifically about lead engagement. So there's a couple of things that we've developed on the IDX Broker side that are kind of new features that, if you're well familiar with our system, might be new. And, they came out, but you may not have been aware of them coming out. So I wanted to make sure that I covered those in more detail later. But first of all, my name is Ben. I'm one of the tech support guys over here at IDX Broker. I'm joined today by my colleague Bao. He's going to be keeping an eye on the chat. And so if you have questions or things like that, I hope I try to be quick to answer those, but I'll try and answer them as they come up as we go along. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. So just to kind of give you an overall outline of what we'll cover today, first we're just going to cover some of the basics. This may be things that you already know. We're going to cover up, some features you can adjust on the sign up page. So, what information you're getting from your leads when they, visit your IDX Broker pages, such as, name, email address, phone number. So we'll go cover some of that information. We're also going to cover some of the global registration rules. So the sign up page allows you to control what information you're getting from your lead. And then the global registration rules allow you to control where you're asking them to sign up. So, this may be just stuff you've already covered before. From there, we're going to lead into some of the new features that we've added. We're going to talk about behavioral-based emails. So these are basically, to kind of explain what that means, these will be emails that the IDX Broker sends out to leads that you have captured, but may not have any safe searches or safe properties. So these will be kind of things that the system is automatically sending out. And then we're also going to cover how you can display similar properties on your details pages. So, when someone does a search, finds a property, they can scroll to the bottom of the listing information, and then there will be related properties that will display at the bottom there. So new features that we've added, we'll cover some of the things that you can do and exactly how that works. And then lastly, we're going to cover some of the multi-user features. So if you have an IDX Broker account that's a multi-user, maybe like the team level or a small office account, we'll cover some contact routing options that you have available, which allow you to control which agents in the account get assigned leads. And we'll also end it just by covering specifically how you can assign specific agents to saved links. And so that's really good for, agents so that they can take that link, paste it on Facebook. So it makes it easy for them to advertise listings that they want to share. And then at the end, we'll have some time for some Q&A. But like I said before, if you have questions that come up, feel free to chat them in, and we'll do our best to answer them as they come up. But without further ado, let's just dive right in. So I'm just gonna get to my IDX Broker page here. So right now, I'm logged into the back end. So I'm logged into middleware. And first thing what we'll cover is just, some of the basics of, how you get information from your leads. So like someone's visiting like your IDX Broker pages, and then, they're being asked to sign up as a lead. The best place you can go to customize this information would be over here on the left-hand side. If you just go to leads and then lead registration. And if it's your first time coming here, you're probably going to be taken to this screen, which is this slider bar, which allows you to kind of just set it and forget it. So you can have it set to the balanced approach. If you have it set to the conservative approach, that means people won't be asked to sign up and everything. So this is a good option if you just want the system to take care of most of the things. But I oftentimes recommend people go to the custom options, because if you slide it all the way here, click on customize settings, it will take you into the advanced features, and this is where you can really fine tune and tweak a lot of the features for capturing leads. So it will first have it pulled up on the sign up page. And on this page, there's a number of different features that you can have enabled. For example, the current sign-up form preview will allow you to control what information you're getting from your leads. Initially, we'll have it set to first and last name, email address, and phone number. So those are the standard fields that we already have set up for you. But if you wanted to, you can add additional fields, like as I've done here, just by coming over here to the right-hand side and then clicking Add More Fields. Once you do that, there'll be this box that appears, and then from here, you can, choose from a number of different options that you have available. There's some that we filled out, such as address, city, zip code, and whatnot. But you can create your own custom fields by choosing Other down there at the very bottom. So this allows you to control specifically, like for what I've done here, you can have a comments box. You can have a checkbox for people to agree to terms of service and things like that. So you can really get custom with what information you're asking people to provide. So we've got the current sign up form preview. This allows you to specifically control what information you're asking your leads to provide. Another feature we usually recommend people enable is CAPTCHA. This is good. This will add to this little box down at the very bottom of the form so that when people, fill out the form, they have to click this box to confirm that they're, an actual person. So this is good for, filtering out spam bots and making sure that the leads you're capturing are coming from actual people. So we oftentimes recommend enabling CAPTCHA just for that reason. It helps filter the leads out that way. A few other features you can enable here. If you have a platinum level account, you can enable social media logins. So this is, instead of having people fill out this form, you can have them click and link their Facebook or their Google account. So the system looks for the information that provided through those channels and captures their information that way. So it's enticing for leads to do that instead. It just makes it easy for them to sign up, and you get their information that way. Another platinum feature is enabling text message alerts. So if you opt in and provide the phone number down here below, what will happen is as soon as someone signs up as a lead, you would receive this number would receive a text message that would have any of the contact information that they provided in the sign up form. So a lot of our clients like that because they're always on the go and they always got their phone on them. So getting that text message just lets them know immediately that a lead signed up, and you can reach out to them right then and there. So that's another good platinum feature for sure. Those are the main items with the sign up page specifically. A lot of things that you can tweak and fine tune, and you can make certain fields required or leave them nice and open ended. And so yeah, this is a great place I like to show people in case you really want to control this form. And this form specifically, so this is like what information you're providing. So now we're going to go over where that form is going to show up essentially. So up here back at the top, in these tabs, we have sign up page selected. We're going to go over to the global registration rules. So if we go there, I'm just not going to save those changes. So on this page, it will take you here. And as you can see, we kind of divide them up into the different categories of IDX pages that we provide. So you have search pages, map search pages, results pages. So we've categorized them this way. And you can specifically choose whether you're requesting people to sign up or forcing people to sign up on these pages. The difference is that when you're requesting people to sign up, there'll be this form that appears on the page, and then people will have the option to fill it out, or they can click out of it and then just continue moving on from there. By forcing registration, it's actually the only option that they'll have is to fill out the form, because if they try clicking out of it, it will actually kick them back to the previous page that they were on, and then it wouldn't allow them to view the content of the IDX Broker pages. So we'll go over specifically how you can set this up. So let's say, for example, when someone lands on one of my search pages, I want to request that they sign up with me. So I can check this box here to request registration. Once I do that, there'll be this blue box that shows up, and there's a number of different options that I can customize here. I can set the type of registration I want it to be. So I can set it to be reoccurring or non-reoccurring. The difference is that if I set it to non-reoccurring, it's only going to show up the one time, and then it won't show up anymore. And if I set it to reoccurring, it will keep showing up after a certain number of page views. So, let's say I've set it to non-reoccurring. There will be this box that will show up over here on the right-hand side. And then this will allow you to control specifically how many pages someone's able to view before this registration form shows up. If I leave it blank, it will be the first thing that people see when they arrive. But I could, set this to any number that I think works. I could set it to like 3, or I could set it to 7, whatever works best for you. So you can kind of do some trial and error with that. This option down here, redirect to third-party website for registration. This is mainly for, if you don't want to handle your leads within the IDX Broker system and you're using, some other website or another service to handle that, you can check this box. And then, when people are being asked to sign up, you can have it so that they'll be redirected to a specific page. And then, you might have a form that you want them to fill out on that page. So this option is mainly available for that if you don't want to handle it in the IDX system. And then the last option down here, there's the message itself that will show up on the page. The default one will just show up down here below, but you can also change it to custom and make it more personalized and specific to your specific market. And then if you want that to apply, just make sure to hit save changes down below. Let me just set this to 0 just to kind of give you a visual idea there. So if I do that, I've updated it on the IDX Broker side. And then let's say I go to one of my search pages. Yeah, this is like my demo site. So if it doesn't look good, just forgive me. I haven't had a whole lot of time to modify this. So if we go to search pages, I might have some other registrations set up here, but there'll be this form that will appear on the page. Let me just double check something. Yeah, because I might have some specific page level registration. So page level registration is another thing that you can adjust there. It is a platinum level feature to do that. That might be what's set up on this. So let me do this here real quick. Yeah, so if I just pull up the advanced search page, there we go. Yeah, so if I do that, this will be the form that appears on the page. I enabled social media logins, so, I can, click between one of those and link my account that way, or I can just fill out the form. If I don't, since I have it set to request registration, I can click out of it and then just keep moving on. But if you had it set to force registration, if I did that, it would take you away from the page. Some of that stuff may be, old hat for you. If you're familiar with the IDX Broker system, those are features that definitely recommend you take advantage of just to manage your leads that way. But some new things that we've added are twofold. So there's behavioral-based emails, and we've also got the ability to enable similar properties on your pages. So let me cover what that is specifically. So to explain what behavioral-based emails are, first it will go to your leads portal. So if you go to leads and then manage, this will be where most of your IDX Broker leads will be stored within the system. There's any number of them. Some have like saved searches, some have saved properties already tied to their accounts. But let's say Mike Smith here, he doesn't have any searches or properties, but he is a lead that's within the system. What will happen is if Mike's looking at specific IDX Broker pages, like results pages, doing searches, any of that stuff, what will happen is that there will be behavioral-based emails that are sent to, like the email that he's provided when he signed up. There are two different types of behavioral-based emails. The first one will essentially send a property update email to him based on, if he doesn't have any saved searches or if he doesn't have any saved properties. And what it will do is the IDX Broker system will look at the last details page that they viewed in the last 60 days. And then from there, it will, if there are any changes to the status or the price or, like open house fields, if this property is having an open house, for example, the lead will receive a property update email with just notifying them of these changes. So, even though it's not saved directly to his account, the system will kind of look for that and then just send it out to him. And, it might, pique his interest and might follow up on that. The other kind of email that will go out is it's essentially going to recommend new properties. So this email will go out every Friday if a currently active lead doesn't have any saved searches on his account. So, Mike, again, if he's done searches and like landed on specific results pages, the system will keep an eye on like what he's looking for. So he'll just be searching for properties, and the system will determine the last results page that the lead viewed in the last 60 days and send an email to essentially suggest properties. So the email itself will include up to 4 properties that, kind of meet that criteria if they've, are new listings that have entered that specific criteria. And then, according to the results, it will include, and then it will also include a link to the full list of the results. So this is something that, is going to be enabled in the account. This can be disabled if you want, if you feel like you don't want that to be a feature that's added. You would just have to go to leads and then lead registration. And then once you go there, again, you just make sure that you go to the advanced tab, and then you would just go to email settings. And so on this page, you can scroll down here to the very bottom, and then there's this toggle where you can enable behavioral lead emails. So if you don't want these to go out, you can just toggle that to no, and then save changes. And then, if maybe like one of your leads is saying, I just keep getting emails, I just want to stop. That's an option that you have available if you don't want that to happen. Yeah, so those are behavioral based emails. We've also added the ability to add similar properties to the bottom of your details pages. So let me just pull one of these up here. So I'm just going to do a basic search for, a listing here, and let's just go to this one. So I'm just going to click here. So this is a details page, and if we scroll all the way down here to the bottom, there'll be this options for similar listings. This is a new feature that we added during this year here. So again, similar to behavioral based emails, you can opt in or out of having these enabled. And the parameters basically, what's determining what we consider similar listings. Based on this specific listing, will show the first 4 results of any listing that is in the same zip code, has the same status, so active, pending, any of that stuff, and is within a 20% price range of the listing's price. So it's kind of like using those metrics to measure like what is considered a similar listing. If the listings are like rentals or leases or sold properties, and so it will basically take a look at like the sold price as a reference instead of like the current listing price. So those are the metrics that we have for similar listings. And again, if you don't want this to show up on any of your pages, the feature would be under Design, Settings, and then Global back on the IDX Broker side. And then if you want that to be disabled, you just have to go to the Details tab, and then down here at the very bottom, Show Similar Listings on Details page. Just set that to No, and then click Save Changes. So it's an option that you can toggle off or on depending on your preferences. From there, so those are the new features that we've added. And then, so, like Similar Properties uses a lot of the same formulas for managing, recommended new properties using the behavioral-based emails. So a lot of those systems have been developed, and yeah, we just like to make sure that people are aware of these new features that we've added. All right, from there, we're going to move on to some of the multi-user features. So, if you're a single user account and just one user that you have tied to it, these options wouldn't be available. But if you're like a small office account or like, a team level, any of those different features, you can set up contact routing within the IDX Broker system. That's just going to be under Leads, and then contact. So there's a number of different ways that you can set up contact routing. I believe initially when we activate the account, it will be set to core fields. So this type of contact routing is specifically going to, you can assign agents to specific zip codes or areas. And then based on the core fields that you have set up, if someone's like saved a property that meets one of those core fields, like let's say, they found a listing in this particular zip code, that specific lead or that specific agent would be assigned that lead. So it's pretty easy to set that up. Well, first, let me go over the different kinds here. So core fields is for like geographical location or using the MLS data to assign leads to specific agents. You can also have it set up to be round robin. So that makes it easy because you can just have, your list of agents and then them go on a list, like kind of go in a cycle and make sure that once one is assigned a lead, it will move on to the next agent, and then that will assign a lead, and so on and so forth. And then the last way that you can set it up is to have both core fields and round robin. So you can have them set up in that cyclical list, but you can also designate further, like, all right, if they're next up on the list and they have this specific zip code, then they will get this, they'll get this lead assigned to them. So those are kind of those are the 3 different contact routing options that we have available. And the way that you can set it up, it's pretty easy. You just, if you're already on contact routing, you just go up here to the upper right, click Manage Contact Routing, and then if you wanted to add a new route, you just click this button, and then from here, right now we've got it set to core fields and round robin, so you can designate like if you wanted cities, counties, zip codes, any of those different features, and then let's say I want a specific agent let's say he's only working in Allen, that he's only working in that specific city. And then, you can designate further, like price ranges, let's say, 200,000 to 300,000, and then you can get as specific or as broad as you need it to be. And then, we've got these are the core fields that we have. And then from here, you can select the list of available agents, and then you can just click, and then, I think you just have to click the green plus icon, and then that will add them to the round robin list, and then we click Save Changes. So now we've got that contact route open. So now anytime that someone looks for a property that's in that specific city and then this specific price range, Mo will be the one that gets that lead tied to their account. But yeah, so contact routing is a way that you can kind of make it so that, like if you have multiple agents within your account, you can set it up so that, if all the leads are coming in, you can dish them out that way. Makes it easy for them to manage that. But yeah, so that's a good tool that you have in your arsenal. But another great thing that you can do is you can create specific saved links, or I refer to them as landing pages, and then you can tie specific agents to those links. So a lot of people using that because they can just give their agent that link and then, hey, take this link, put it on Facebook, and then you'll get any leads that come in through that channel. So let me show you what you have to do in order to get that setting enabled. You would first come over here to the left and click on design, and then website, and then save links. And then, this will show you your list of saved links. And if you wanted to assign a specific agent, let's say I built out this Eugene saved link and I wanted to have my specific agent tied to that. So I would just go over here to the right-hand side, click on this icon here to edit preferences, and then I just have to scroll down here to the bottom. I just make sure that preferences is pulled up and then scroll down here to the very bottom. And then under agent assignment, I just, from this drop-down menu, choose the agent and then save changes. So that's basically going to make it so that if anyone lands on this specific saved link and then they fill out the sign-up form or fill out that contact form, this agent will be assigned that lead so that they can have, within their own portal, manage that lead and follow up with them that way. So that's a really helpful tool for sure. Let me just show you that example here. So let's say I go to this saved link. I'm just going to pull it up here real quick. And then I just, go here. And then let's say, I like this link and everything. I could just click Save Search. Let's just do test 7. Test 7. gmail.com. There, not a robot. There we go. All right, so I've created a new account there. So it's had time to think about that in the IDX system. So if we just go to leads, then manage, just go in here. And now we see that this lead has come in. Now we've got the name and the email address, and they've been assigned to Mo Smith. So that's the agent that is currently tied to that saved link. And because I filled out that sign up form on that page, that agent's getting that lead. Yeah, so that's a good thing. And then with your agents that are tied to the account, a good place that you can go if you wanted to manage it, they'll have their own portals where they can log in and then manage their leads. That's just going to be under account and then users and then agents. So, this is like from your perspective, you can see what agents that you have tied to the account. But then, they'll be able to log in using their own set of credentials. So if you just sign in, they'll see this page and then they'll have their own section where they can check on their leads. So they can go to leads and then manage. And then, we should see that specific lead coming in. So yeah, you can see that test 7 has come in, and then, Mo Smith can manage that lead from there. There's a lot of different options that you have available using your IDX Broker accounts to, control what properties are coming through, what listings are being shared, the emails. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that, are sending out emails to your leads, just keeping them engaged and hopefully making them sign up as an actual lead so that you can follow up with them and then potentially, get them to make that sale. So those are the main items that I've got today. I know we were kind of going a little quick, but I just want to make sure that I covered that in the 30 minutes and then, showed some of the things that we have available for managing any leads that way. And then, like I said before, this webinar is going to be available on YouTube. You can view this again in case, you missed some of the things that we covered today. But we have a little bit of time here for any additional questions that you may have. I know that Val's been hopping on the chat and then answering them as they come up. Was there anything specific or, that you wanted to cover today? Oh, Marco, yeah. If you're running into issues with similar listings not showing up, you probably want to contact our support team. That's going to be 800-421-9668, and then they'd be able to help troubleshoot some of that stuff. I know that for the details pages, there could be some, specific criteria that maybe isn't being taken into account. But again, how it should adhere to it is it's looking for listings that are provided in the MLS feed. And then the similar properties would be those that have the same zip code, the same status, and then they're within a specific price range of 20%, like either 20% above or 20% below. But yeah, you can reach out to our support team, and we'd be happy to troubleshoot that for sure. Yeah, Steve, to answer your question, I know that with SEO, there's a number of recommendations that we have. Our support team isn't necessarily like SEO experts, but we do know there are a number of things that you can take advantage of within the IDX Broker system to kind of optimize that. I know that there's also been webinars in the past specifically about the Google console and then Google Analytics. So I check out our YouTube channel. There's some good stuff that's available on there. But a good article that I usually point people to is our kind of SEO roadmap. This is on our support knowledge base at support.idxbroker.com. And then if you just type in SEO, the first option would be this article here. And then this kind of helps break down the different things that you can do within the IDX Broker account and link to related articles about how to set up your custom subdomain, enabling HTTPS on your pages, adding in like OG tags, meta tags, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'd recommend taking a look at this. If you had specific questions, we can also try to help out on the support side as well. Can two MLS's results show up in one community search results link on our website? It depends. So if it's two specific communities, this is a good question because it may be possible to do that, but it might require a little bit of hacking, like the specific search query that's available. So let's say that you have two MLSs, like maybe you're in like Florida, so there might be like Fort Lauderdale and then like beaches or something like that. And what can happen is that if the MLSs store the community field as, like a similar field that we can kind of latch onto, it may be possible that we can pull in both of the community fields from the separate MLSs in order to display those listings in the link. So it may be a little bit tricky. I know I've done it before with variable success. If you specifically wanted help with that, definitely reach out to us on the support team, and we'd be happy to kind of troubleshoot that with you. But yeah, I've definitely seen it done. If you're having more specific issues with some of the things that we talked about today, or just general questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our number is 1-800-421-9668. And we're available Monday through Friday from 6 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. So that's the best window to get a hold of, any of us on the support team. You can also feel free to chat in. So in the, lower right-hand corner of any of your backend IDX Broker pages, there'll be this contact us button. And so if you click on that, that'll put you on with one of our support reps that's logged into the live chat. And then, from there, we can see what page you're looking at, help you that way. I mean, this would be the way that I would do it personally. Some people prefer phone over chat, so you can reach out to us that way too. You can also send us an email at help, HELP, @idxbroker.com. And, that's our support inbox, and we do our best to keep that cleared out and answer those as quick as we can. Thank you for joining us today. I know it was a lot of information to cover in a short amount of time. Again, you can always check out any of these, webinars that we've done or anything like that just at our YouTube channel. Just to make sure that I show you where that's at. You just go to YouTube, and then go to our IDX Broker page. And then, you just go to IDX Broker. And then you should see like down below any of our, like popular uploads, playlists, specifically for webinars. You could just click on that one. And then this is where you can get a collection of any of the webinars that we've done in the past. So if you have more specific questions or just needed something answered right away, definitely reach out to us on the support team, and we'd be happy to help you out. Well, thanks again. Hope you have a great rest of your month here, and happy holidays. Thank you so much.